Thanks for joining us from the Ohio AgNet, Voice You Know with the News You Trust studio. Sponsored by BASF, where you can count on the trusted performance of Elvivo seed treatment to protect your soybean crop. I am Allison Kinney. Good afternoon. Let's take a look at the headlines. The soybean market is feeling pressure as a new marketing year began on September 1. Arlen Suman, chief commodities economist for StoneX, said the market has noticed the new year begin with no sales to China on the books.
Their lead negotiator was in the United States to negotiate last week and went home without anything substantial to show for it. Both sides, U.S. and Chinese negotiators, released statements that were very vanilla in nature. Both their statements said things are complicated. That's not wording that gives us a lot of hope or encouragement.
While U.S. soy growers are urgently waiting for a resolution to reopen their biggest market, China isn't sitting still.
And meanwhile, what do we see? We see President Xi Jinping of China meeting with President Putin of Russia, meeting with Prime Minister Modi of India, meeting with Brazil, saying that they're going to gather together to fight against Trump and his tariffs. We see a court that rules, an appeals court that rules against the Trump tariffs, that increases the uncertainty, that emboldens those countries that are trying to fight against us and may unwind some of the trade deals we have that were good for agriculture.
If the tariff case goes to the Supreme Court, Suderman said it doesn't necessarily mean the tariffs will be gone.
There are still a couple of other avenues that the Trump administration can try for keeping the tariffs in place, but it does put them on a little bit shakier footing, and that's exactly what some of these countries are holding out for and hoping is that the Trump administration loses on this and that they won't have to give up anything. The whole purpose of this was to get these countries to lower their tariffs and the non-tariff restrictions. And so all of that may be out the window.
Again, Arlen Suderman with StoneX. Now let's check in with our weekly update from the Ohio Soybean Council and your checkoff dollars at work.
I'm joined today by Dr. Laura Lindsay. Laura's the OSU Extension soybean and small grain specialist. Laura, as growers go out and hopefully are walking their fields a little bit, those later planted fields, or even double crop beans, because I know there were quite a few farmers that were able to do some double cropping this summer with the weather setup that we had. Any particular concerns as we look at those and what the fall might bring?
Insects are one to look at: stink bugs, bean leaf beetle. Bean leaf beetle can feed on the leaves and also the pods, so those are good places to pay attention to. Harvest date is really important too. Last year we had some issues with harvest associated with the hurricane that came through, so making sure you harvest timely if at all possible. Sometimes things happen and you can't harvest timely, but trying to prioritize timely harvest in the fall is very important as well.
Well, most fields that I've walked with our crop tour, as well as some reports I've heard, have said beans really look clean. What have you guys seen through the Battle of the Belt project?
We've seen the same in our Battle for the Belt. We're in Wood County, Wayne County, and Clark County, and I have students there once a week, and they do all kinds of scouting. And on the soybean side, there's been really no significant or even insignificant diseases. It's been extremely clean this year at all three locations. And with Battle for the Belt, we don't spray fungicide, so they've had no fungicide application, and they've remained clean this year.
Great information. Again, our guest today, Dr. Laura Lindsay, OSU Extension soybean and small grain specialist. Laura, thanks so much for your time and the update today.
Yep, thank you.
And today's update brought to you by the Ohio Soybean Council and your soybean checkoff.
Thanks, Dusty. Now back to the headlines. Good news for U.S. dairy as exports surged higher in June, reaching 18.7% of domestic milk solids production, the highest level since 2022. Meanwhile, stocks of major dairy products held steady for May to June. U.S. fluid milk sales rose 0.5% from a year earlier in June, while domestic yogurt consumption jumped 12.2%. Overall, domestic commercial use of milk solids in all dairy products increased by 3% year over year.
Stop on by our Red Barn during the Farm Science Review, September 16th, 17th, and 18th.
Come say hello to the Ohio AgNet and the Ohio Country Journal team.
Subscribe to Ohio's Country Journal for a chance to win one of 4 $250 gift cards.
And don't miss your chance to say hi to Dale Minyo. After more than 30 years on the air, he's retiring. Sign his guest book, play games, and enjoy fun giveaways.
Plus, free popcorn every day until 1 o'clock.
We'll see you at the corner of Corn and Market at the Red Barn at Farm Science Review.
Now let's take a look at the markets. This market report is brought to you by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance. Learn more online at seedconsultants.com. September corn closing in today up 2 even at $3.99 3/4. December corn up 1 3/4 at $4.19 3/4. March corn up 1 1/2 at $4.37 1/2. September soybeans down 4 even at $10.12. November soybeans up 1 1/2 at $10.33. May soybeans up 1 1/4 at $10.80 1/4. September wheat down 1 3/4 at $5.02 1/4. December wheat down 2 1/4 at $5.19 1/4. October live cattle down 137 at $236.95. December live cattle down 170 at $238.55. October lean hogs up 120 at $95.02. December lean hogs up 17 cents at $87.30. And October feeder cattle down 255 at $358.95. Thanks for joining us. This is the Ohio AgNet.